Yo, I have been on YouTube for just over a year now, consistently. And I have been not only creating content on this platform, but I've also been consuming a lot of it, not just to improve my craft as a YouTuber, but I am always on a constant journey to just improve myself and grow. And since becoming aware of my ADHD, that has become a really big part of my journey around creating more compensatory methods to manage it in a way that doesn't hold me back, but actually helps me thrive. Because let's be honest, once you learn that you have ADHD, there's sort of a triad of things that you can use to deal with it. One is medication to help you get your brain online. The other one is therapy to help you deal with the fact that you thought you were broken your entire life. But the third thing is really more personal, and that's around creating compensatory habits and exploring different ways to improve your environment and the way you live your life so that it works for you. So, in the spirit of that approach to consuming content, I wanted to share some of my favorite YouTubers that I've come across in the last year that have changed my life in very different and kind of maybe not so usual ways. And not just celebrate who they are as creators, but also share how I approach finding people that I think are a good fit for me because social media can either be like a dumpster fire of depression or it can be a really handy tool for helping you live your best life. So these creators, who all happen to be women, have definitely helped me do that this year. And I'm going to share all about them in a second. But first, I wanted to start off by saying there's two different kinds of creators that I no longer follow. And the first one is any creator whose content revolves around consumption and buying things like Amazon hauls and Target hauls and any kind of haul whatsoever, or outfits of the day or home decor, anything like that, where I will be triggered to spend impulsively. That is something I know about myself. And I have found that when I don't follow people in social media who are constantly sharing stuff and things, I'm not inspired to buy. If I don't know that cute sweater exists, I'm not inspired to buy it. And I found that by eliminating those creators from my purview, I've really helped myself not only spend less and save more, but accumulate less clutter, which is a huge thing when it comes to managing anxiety. The other kind of creator that I no longer follow is any creator that presents a perfect image of themselves, either in their home or in their lives or how they look. And again, I'm not throwing shade on any creator who's got a beautiful home or a beautiful appearance or a beautiful body or anything like that. All the power to them. I just know that when I see people who are very perfect and well put together and their house always looks perfect, that I feel less than and I get this comparisonitis and perfectionism feelings bubbling up and it doesn't make me feel good. So I have personally figured out that whenever I find myself comparing my real life to somebody else's highlight reel, I need to bless and release that creator from my purview and just move on with my life. So those are the two kinds of creators that I very intentionally do not follow. But let's get into the ones that I really enjoyed following last year and have helped me live a better life in one way or another over the course of 2022. And the first one that I found, I follow her both here on YouTube and in Instagram, is Dr. Claire Leroy. I love the way her mind works when it comes to digital organization and running a business. So she is a fellow Notion user, and I love the way that she just thinks about Notion in a way that creates structure in her life, whether it's around reading or the activities she does in her business. She just has a great way of thinking through what's the best way to keep this efficient. And while I love the Thomas Franks and the August Bradleys of the world, I just find that their way of thinking is far too complicated for me. The way Claire thinks when it comes to Notion or just business in general is just minimal and yet very effective. She's also a solopreneur who has very few people working in her business, and yet she has a very successful business. And I just love the way she thinks about creating a business that serves the life you want to live, as opposed to creating a business that becomes a big, cumbersome job. So she is an amazing person. And we also have very similar values around health and fitness and doing whatever you need to do to create a peaceful and aligned life. So she's definitely a great follow for those things. The next creator that has inspired me so much in 2022 is Carla from the Carla Project. She talks about minimalism, decluttering, and cleaning. And I just love her approach to it that's just real and unique and not same as everybody else on YouTube. I don't know about you, but I have noticed there's a shtick around minimalism on YouTube. The thumbnails of these videos are always some dude wearing a black t-shirt sitting in an empty room with this look on his face, and the caption says, "I sold all my shit and now I own nothing." Or it's 273 things I am not buying this year. And it's just like, I don't find those videos to be inspiring or useful or relatable. Carla lives in LA. She lives in a small space. She's real about how she manages her space, manages her stuff, what she buys and doesn't buy, with the decluttering process that she's gone through. And I just find it very relatable, inspiring, and not overwhelming. When I see these pantry makeovers and laundry room makeovers where everything is Pinterest perfect, it just shuts down my motivation because it's not inspiring. It's not real. So I love that Carla's very real in her approach to content, but also that she talks through the thinking process as she's decluttering or cleaning or anything like that. So shout out to Carla. She's really helped me get my decluttering act going. The next person on my list who inspired me last year was Jessica Stansberry, and I love her as much as she loves Peter McKinnon. She's someone who talks about creating online businesses in a very non-schmarmy way. She's real, authentic, funny, witty, and super smart, and she knows her onions when it comes to creating online revenue, content creation, even just being a YouTuber. I've taken some of her courses. I love the way she thinks about things. And I also align with her motivation to create a business that aligns with her lifestyle as opposed to the reverse. She's also somebody who's very adverse to having things on her schedule. She's somebody who demonstrates that creating an asynchronous business is absolutely possible. And she inspires me just being who she is. So shout out to Jessica. Keep doing what you're doing because you have helped me in my business so much this year. Okay. The next person who totally inspired me to up my productivity game in 2022 was Cindy. I'm going to butcher her name here. Baldo. It's hyphenated name there. Anyway, Cindy is fantastic. She is a real as real can be, uses a ton of cursey words, which I love, I am here for. And I just love the way she thinks through planning her week. She does a lot of those top down videos where she's got a camera here and she's showing you her planner, how she's thinking through her week. She uses a lot of stickers and colors on her paper planner and just creates this weekly spread that, although I would never do that myself because I'm a total digital person, I love the way she thinks through her week, what her priorities are, what's most important, and then creates a weekly plan based on that. I could watch her content all day long. So Cindy, sorry if I butchered your name, but keep up the great work, keep swearing and keep being real, and good luck with the dialysis treatments this year. I am rooting for you. The next person who has inspired my fitness journey so much on YouTube last year is Kaylee Daniels of The Glow Method. So Kaylee does a lot of bar, Pilates, yoga sculpt workouts. And before I go any further, let me tell you why that kind of a workout is so important for ADHDers. Anything that incorporates balance, which all of those practices do, helps to stimulate the cerebellum in your brain. When you stimulate the cerebellum, you have greater access to your prefrontal cortex. That's where all your executive functions happen. So when you are practicing any sort of movement that incorporates balance, you are helping to manage the symptoms of your ADHD. So that's why her workouts are so perfect for ADHDers. But beyond that, I just love her style. I love that her workouts are less talking and more movement. I find that a lot of yoga teachers over talk and over explain each movement, which means my brain is constantly listening to them and I can't get into the yoga flow. I can't get into the space where I'm present in the moment because somebody over here is talking, talk. She is not like that, and I love that about her. Her workouts are very creative, very unique, and very challenging. So I get a good sweat going, but she also does have some beginner workouts as well. So I highly recommend that you go check her out. I have been working out at home since 2009 because I know if I took my workouts to a gym, they would never happen. So up until now, I've mostly been using Body on Demand, which was previously Beachbody, and also Alo Moves. And those are two great options for a variety of different workouts. But when it comes to yoga or yoga sculpt, I am 100% Glow Method. I adore her stuff. So thank you, Kaylee, for helping me get my yoga on this year. You have helped me so much. The next person that I'm going to share is very new to me. I have just started binging her content over the holidays, and I don't know how I came across her. Her name is Bria Jones, and she's like literally half my age, but I could totally go have cocktails with this girl. She shares a lot of content around mindset, some stuff around manifestation, but she's not somebody who advocates just sitting there and hoping something happens. I appreciate Bria so much because she's an action taker. She walks her talk, and she's also blazing a path that I find very inspiring. She is a young Black creator and just talks about the behind the scenes of building her business. I just admire and respect her journey so much and the way she approaches it and the mindset she has around it. And clearly, whatever she's doing is working out for her because she's killing it on YouTube. And she's just a great creator. She's sassy, fun, smart. I love her camera presence. I love her editing. I love her humor. And she's just a super fun person to watch who's really going to inspire you. Two more to go here. The second to last one is she's not actually a YouTuber per se, although she is on YouTube quite a bit. I found her on Instagram. Her name is Erin Real, and her handle is real.wig.fun. So she is a woman around my age, and I found her just by accident one day, and she was sharing the fact that she has like general hair loss as I've had. So she doesn't have bald spots. She's not going through chemotherapy, but she struggles with very thin, fine, broken hair, which is something that I've been dealing with a lot. And I've shared this on previous videos that it has become a barrier for me wanting to actually even get on camera. Well, when I found Erin, she opened me to this whole world of alternative hair. So for context, I have been wearing hair extensions for, I don't know, the last 15 years because my hair is so thin. But my hair is getting so thin that I'm getting to the point where hair extensions are not even an option for me anymore because they're just destroying what little hair I have left. So Erin opened me to the world of wigs and toppers. And while I knew those things always existed, it was always my thought that those were something for people that were going through cancer treatment or that had female pattern baldness. And it wasn't necessarily something that everybody did. But that's not the case. That was just an assumption I was making. So she opened me up to this world of beautiful hair for anyone. And let me tell you something about wearing alternative hair. Not only is it cost effective in the sense that you can buy a wig for less than the cost of going to a hairdresser to get a cut and highlight, but those wigs will then last you 6 months. And if you are going gray, or if you're trying to grow at your roots, or if you're just trying to give your hair a break so it can get healthier, as I'm doing, wigs and toppers are the bomb. So you are going to see me in a variety of different hairstyles going forward because I am hooked. I think it's awesome. It's also hassle-free. I just pop something on my head and off I go. And it also really satiates that craving for new and novel looks. So I'm always somebody who's thinking, what would I look like with bangs or brown hair or something like that? And whenever I get up the nerve to make some big change with my hair, because my hair is just not great overall, it's always a disappointment. So with toppers and wigs, I can experiment with a number of different looks. And if I don't like it, I don't have to wear it again. So thank you, Erin, for opening me up to this whole world of alternative hair. I have never had so much fun. And I think that that's probably the number one game-changing inspiration I've had in 2022. The last creator I'm going to share is somebody who has opened my eyes to a new way of living that I never thought was possible. So if you've been around here for a minute, then you know that last year I went down a complete hyper-focused rabbit hole of RV living. I wanted so badly to have an RV, maybe move into one full time, travel the world, and just have this whole experience of living nomadically. And while I have come out the other side of that rabbit hole, and thankfully without spending any money on an RV, because now I know it's probably not the right thing for me, I still do have a huge fascination and appreciation for that lifestyle. So while I don't watch as much RV content on YouTube anymore, there is one creator in that space who doesn't actually even live in an RV. She lives in her car. Her name is Brooke, and her channel is BrookeandPippa. She's a fellow ADHDer, actually. And she's very real, very transparent, has a great sense of humor, and doesn't take any of this YouTubing stuff that seriously, which I really appreciate about her. She's just somebody that I root for because I think she's a good egg. And I appreciate that she's so willing to share her lifestyle, which some people would probably have a lot of judgments around, but she really just doesn't care. She's there sharing her lifestyle for those that are interested in it. And I am here for it. And she's just a nice human being. So thank you, Brooke, for sharing your life this year. It has just opened my eyes to a new way of living that I never thought was possible. So, those are the creators that really inspired me in 2022. They've helped me to organize myself better, see what's possible in business and in life. They've helped me move my body or inspired me to try new things and just make me a better human being overall. I think the thread amongst all of them is that they're all very authentic, very open to sharing their journey, and they've either normalized or demystified something that I never knew was possible. And the one takeaway I want you to take from this video, along with all of the brilliant creators I just shared, is that social media can either be a dumpster fire that makes you feel bad, or it can be this amazing resource that can open you up to new ways of living and being. And I feel like the content that I've intentionally looked for over the past year have been creators that have helped me elevate myself in the direction that I want to go that aligns with my values. And that is something that is so precious when you think about 10, 20 years ago, we didn't have access to so many different thought processes and ways to live life and bringing in things that work for us personally. So I will leave it there. But before you go, I would love to know what creators have really inspired you on your life journey or your ADHD journey, or just your journey to be more aligned to who you are as a person. Feel free to drop their handles below. I would love to know who you're following. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.